Welcome, everybody. Can you hear me in the back? Yes? Can you raise your hand? Yes? Good. So welcome, and thank you for coming. I'm going to talk about our work, about ArcGIS, the technology that we built. As many of you know, we launched the latest version of ArcGIS very recently, in July. And ArcGIS 10 is really a big step towards the vision that Jack laid down about 30 years ago. I work in the product development group in Esri, and we all understand very well what Jack said 30 years ago, which was we can build a better world by using geographic knowledge to make better decisions. So there you go, we built technology to try to achieve that goal. And a lot of progress has been made in 30 years in two aspects. One of the aspects is geographic science, how we can make also the technology better so you can build sound analysis so you can make better decisions. But there is one aspect where I think ArcGIS 10 is very special, and we will talk about that today a lot. And it's that aspect of the technology that allows us GIS analysts to share our work with others. And it's that aspect of the software as well that makes it easier for non-GIS specialists to embrace this geographic approach or geographic advantage philosophy. In other words, ArcGIS 10 is easier. It's easier for you, and it's easier also for the end user. And you'll see how easily you can embrace non-GIS users to use GIS. And I think that's very, very important. I will reuse here a few of the slides that Chris Capelli used. Just to stress the importance of the word system. ArcGIS is a complete system for geographic information. And it allows you to do many things. With ArcGIS, you can discover maps. And once you have found these maps, you can actually mash them up. Why? Because that allows you to create new maps, new knowledge. With ArcGIS, you can also manage very large amounts of geographic information. And you can visualize that information. And why is that key? Because you need to create compelling maps, maps that tell stories in order to make people access to that geographic knowledge. And it's also important because you want other people to tell stories with maps as well. With ArcGIS, you can also analyze geographic information. You can gain insight and see things that you couldn't see if you were not using maps. And finally, and very importantly, with ArcGIS, you can collaborate. You can geo-collaborate. You can use maps as a framework for people to communicate ideas. All of these things can be done in different environments. Of course, you can use the desktop. Many of you are ArcGIS desktops users. But you can also experience ArcGIS, and you'll see it today, from a web browser. From a web browser, you can discover information. You can create maps. You can analyze information. You can share those maps with others and collaborate right from a web browser. And if you're in the field with a cell phone, you can experience ArcGIS as well. ArcGIS extends to mobile phones, to field devices, to iPads, and many other devices that you carry over on a daily basis. ArcGIS works with data, of course, and where is this data stored? Well, sometimes this data is just in a mobile device, like one of these devices that you take to the field. It's local in the computer, in this computer. It's local in my server. Often the data is coming from the enterprise. It's coming from a customer relationship management system, from SAP, and GIS can use this information as well. Often, this data is coming also from the cloud, from other servers out there that you connect to through the internet. But in most cases, GIS uses information from all these sources at once. Information that is local, is yours. Information that is coming from the enterprise, and information that is coming from the cloud. I want to give you a quick tour over some of the tools or environments that we discussed previously. I want to give you a tour over the tools that you use on the desktop, on your mobile devices, and also on the web browsers. So you can see how truly ArcGIS works as a system where all the pieces are connected. I'm going to start with ArcGIS Desktop. You are probably familiar with this tool. This is a tool that you install on your PC, and it's a tool designed for the GIS professional. Very powerful tool. What many of you may not know is that ArcGIS Desktop is connected or extends to the cloud. And from the cloud, you can actually get ready-to-go data. I'm navigating a map of Brazil that is shipped with ArcGIS 10. So you may not know it, but when you install and you run ArcGIS Desktop, you actually have all this data available for you. And as you can see, it's pretty detailed data and useful for many of the applications that you work on. Now, to get to this kind of data, all you need to do is to go to File, Add Data from ArcGIS Online. That's how you get to the cloud to access this catalog of information. And here you can search for pretty much any keyword. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one additional layer of information with imagery. This is high-resolution imagery that is, again, available to you in basically 3 clicks. Let me zoom in just a little bit closer and navigate the map a little bit. Okay? Are you all aware of this? This data available to you. Okay, but I'm not going to talk about this, just this information today. Let's go back. I should remind you that all you need really to access that data is a good internet connection. Okay, so we are using an internet connection to access that data. So in your ArcGIS desktop machine, of course, you can display data from the cloud, but you can also display data from your enterprise. In this case, we are looking at different petroleum assets. These assets are coming from my enterprise geodatabase, and it can be stored in SQL Server, Oracle, and so on. You can also display local data. And today, I'm displaying this point because there is a well here, and we want to plan an oil spill. What happens if this well starts spilling oil, and what is going to be the impact? So I'm displaying this local data here, and also I created or simulated the oil spill. And how did I do this? Well, many people use these powerful desktop tools because they have analytical capabilities. And analytical capabilities in ArcGIS Desktop come from this framework that we call is geoprocessing, where you can take geographic data in blue and processes to generate outputs. And then I can take the outputs and yet another process, and I can combine these with other information and generate an output. In my case, the output is the oil spill from that point. Is this making sense? This is another reason why people use desktop tools. I can create nice-looking maps, but I can also analyze the information and generate new layers of information. With this information, you are probably going to cross-reference the information with other layers like protected areas, population, and so on, and create a plan to address this event of an oil spill. Okay, so you can see that I have classified the coast into different coastline alerts in orange, red, and yellow. So this is fantastic. We'll see new things that we put into ArcGIS Desktop to make it better. But as I said, ArcGIS 10 is more than anything else about sharing the information. So what happens now that the GIS professional has created these nice-looking maps and this analysis? We need to share that information so people who really make decisions can actually have a map so they can make sound decisions. And that's, I think, a very exciting part of the ArcGIS system. You can take this map and put it in ways that people can access it very easily.